Hello, my beautiful friend. It's Betsy Gutting. How are you? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video on Cancer season. Cancer season is June 22nd to July 22nd of 2022. And this is a time that we all become even more intimately aware of our emotional well-being. Are our needs being met, especially our emotional needs? This is where we're going to become even more sensitive to what is going on within each of us internally, because Cancer is a very internal, personal energy. It's the bottom of it's the bottom of the zodiac wheel. So it's the fourth house and that traditionally rules Cancer. You may have the fourth house in a different sign, but the fourth house is the house of Cancer in the zodiac, and it's the IC, which is the very bottom, as opposed to the MC, which is how we are in the public world. It's our career, it's, our reputation, it's how we are performing in the world. The IC is the most personal point in the chart, and this is Cancer energy. It rules home, family, and our inner self. So I want to share with you in this video, how can you navigate this time to your best advantage? I want to share some of the planetary movements that are going on, especially with the personal planets that we're all going to be feeling as well. And I am going to pull a tarot card, at least one card, Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which is so interesting because that is such a Cancer energy. And yeah, we'll go from there. So if you're new to me, I want to say hello. I'm an intuitive life coach as well as a psychic astrologer, and I love to help you tune into what your heart wants most, to what matters to you most in your life, and help you bring it into existence, help you manifest it in your life, or help you with any shifts, challenges that are going on for you right now. I'm all about helping to empower you to be your believing mirror, to be your confidant, and your accountability partner, so that you take the action that you most want to take to bring your vision into fruition. So if you would like to do an astrology reading with me, or you would like to do some coaching with me, I will leave the link below to my website, to my coaching and astrology pages, so that you can check out my services. I would love to support you. And I have a free gift for you. My free gift I will tell you about at the very end of this video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. I want to say thank you so much to those of you who comment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I have so much fun connecting with you. I'm a Gemini. It's all about the two-way communication for me. And when you leave me comments, whatever it is, even if you want to just say, hey, I have this planet in Cancer or that planet in, whatever sign, tell us your sun sign, whatever you want to share, it's my joy to connect with you. So thank you so much. Okay, so now let's get into it. Cancer is the mother archetype. It is connected to home, family, sanctuary, what makes you feel safe, what makes you feel secure. In Cancer energy, we want emotional security. We gravitate toward relationships where we feel a sense of trust. This is so important during this time. And it's interesting to me that in Cancer season, it's when in the US we have the 4th of July, we have summer, people go out, they have picnics, they go to concerts. And it's when we want to do things with people that we enjoy being with, that we feel safe with. Cancer is a cardinal water sign. Cardinal meaning it initiates. It takes the initiative. It doesn't wait for other people to say, hey, let's do this or that. It says, I want to do this, and I'm going to take charge, and I'm going to take a step. So it's a leadership energy. Cancer is also a water sign. It's actually the first water sign in the zodiac. And so this means that this was our very first experience in childhood of feeling our emotional needs, feeling our feelings, and having the experience of those needs being met by our caregivers or not being met. It's our very first experience of that. So for most of us, we didn't often have all of our needs met as a child, right? I know for me, and I am a Cancer rising, Cancer moon, so I have double Cancer energy in my chart. And for me as a Cancer, I know that I would often get frustrated and upset with my family dynamic growing up. There was a lot of fighting, there was sibling rivalry. My dad was away a lot when he was home. There was a lot of unpredictability emotionally with him. And my mom was often overwhelmed. So when I would be angry, for example, she would say, "You must be tired, you should go to bed." That was her response. It was never dealt with. There was never any permission to speak about it and to have it resolved. There was very rarely like, "You have a point," or "I'm sorry you feel that way," or "Let's talk about it." No, it was like, "You're probably tired, you should go to bed." Now, we all have our own experience with parents, with teachers, with other significant people in our lives of how we received care for our emotions or not. But now that we are fully conscious adults, we can take care of our own needs. So we all really need a care system for our feelings, a feelings care system. And I have a separate video for you on this, which is my video on reparenting, that I highly encourage you to listen to if you would like to become more intimate with your own feelings and learn how to better take care of your emotional realm. The goddess that's associated with Cancer is the moon goddess. And if you think about it, every time the moon changes a sign, which is often, usually every 2 to 3 days, the moon changes signs, we have a different emotional tone. And so during Cancer season, we really feel these moon changes even more. And if you are Cancer sun, moon, or rising, you will feel your emotions probably more intensely during Cancer season. You're going to be feeling these moon shifts. I'm kind of going around the wheel as I do this. You'll be feeling the moon shifts even more intensely and palpably. So the moon goddess is Artemis, and Artemis is often seen with a bow and arrow because Artemis was like the feminine embodiment of the hunter-gatherer, the protector, the one that went out and got what was needed for the family. Because this is a caretaker energy. It is, what do you need? Let me provide it for you. So Cancer energy is bringing up that sense of fierce protection within all of us, that caregiver part of us that wants to feel protection inside, wants to receive a sense of protection and care from others, and wants to give that to others as well. Cancer rules the solar plexus, the belly, the gut area right here. So this is all about personal power, and it connects to, do we feel comfortable speaking our mind, speaking our truth? Do we know what our truth is? Are we aware of what our emotions are? Are we willing to advocate for ourselves? Do we feel comfortable going after what we most want, what we most desire? These are the kinds of things that can come up. And also your truth. Your truth will often be known to you right here in your gut, right here in your sense of personal power. And you may notice in relationships, if you're having any sort of power struggle, this may become very clear to you in this next month, because often when we're in a power struggle with another person, it's because we don't feel safe to speak about our needs. So really, if I were going to put Cancer energy in a nutshell, I would say this is about you being very aware of and willing to ask for, both from yourself and from others, what you need. This is about us really being the parent of ourselves, the mother of ourselves, mothering ourselves enough that we care and we show care for our own needs being met. In Cancer season, we're building self-trust. Self-trust. What is more important? Really, if you think about it, what is more important than self-trust? It comes into every area of our life, our work, all of our decisions, right? Should I make this decision or that decision? Should I take this job or should I leave this job? Should I say yes to this relationship? All these things that come up for us that are really important, decisions about money, decisions about where we want to travel, decisions about whether we want to make a move or not. This is all about self-trust. So how do you trust yourself? How do you know whether you can trust a decision or not? How do you know whether you feel like you can trust a turning point that's coming up in your life regarding another person, perhaps? This is where our intuitive knowing comes in. And Cancer is very intuitive, almost psychic. And I would say psychic for a lot of Cancers. Very, very intuitive. The wisdom comes through the body. The wisdom comes through the body. Cancers feel it in their bodies. They feel it in their emotions. They feel it in their gut feelings. And then there's the need for boundaries. We all know this thing called red flags, right? Raise your hand if you are trying to become more and more aware of red flags when it comes to entering in a new situation, whether it's entering into a relationship, entering into a new job, a new career, a new home. It's all about red flags and seeing the red flags ahead of time, right? And then setting boundaries and making sure that you don't ignore those red flags. And I'll give you a quick example of this because I think it's a really good story. Now, if you have gone through a major breakup before with a significant other, a romantic partner, or you have gone through a divorce, same thing, right? You know, most likely you went back and you analyzed, you kind of reflected and saw where were the red flags. Like, this is a really good thing to do if you want to learn, of course, from your past mistakes in relationships, and you want to learn more about what your needs are, what your preferences are, what, went wrong, so to speak, in the relationship. What did you ignore? So, of course, when my 22-year marriage ended, I went back and did that inner work. In my relationship, I realized, well, it was about 3 years into the relationship. We lived together for 3 years first before we got married. And about 2.5 years into the relationship, when we started talking about getting married, I became aware that I really wanted an engagement ring. I wanted an engagement ring. I am such a romantic. Remember, double Cancer. Cancer's super romantic energy. And that was something that mattered to me. It was important to me. Not a super expensive one. I think back then we were looking at like $1,000, $1,500. Okay, so maybe that'd be around $4,000 now. But I really wanted an engagement ring. And the first ring that I saw, I fell madly in love with. It was very modest compared to a lot of rings that I see these days, but it was a beautiful, pretty small pink ruby with 2 diamond baguettes on either, one on either side. So I fell madly in love with this ring. I wanted this ring. I knew it was the one I wanted, no question. And I let my then partner know about it. And he did not want to get me that ring. He thought it was too expensive. He was not, he basically just said, no. And we lived in Boston at the time, and there was the Boston, I think they called it the Diamond District, actually. So he wanted me to get my ring from the Diamond District because it would be he could get a really good deal on it, which I understood. This is absolutely no comment at all on him or his decision or anything else, because we all have our own preferences. Long story short, I found one in the Diamond District as a compromise that I liked, that I still really loved. It was beautiful. And we agreed on that. And together, we were combining our money then. So we purchased this ring. And when we went to pick up the ring, I was so excited. I wanted to have like this romantic experience of picking up the ring together and hoping that it would feel very special. So we picked up the ring and I said, can we go get a coffee so we can just enjoy this moment together? And we did. And I remember him looking at his watch like frequently, like he really wanted to get back to work. He really wasn't excited at all about, this experience of getting the ring. Okay. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is because as I look back on it, I can say, wow, that was a pretty big red flag. I had to negotiate to get a ring in the first place. It wasn't really the ring that I wanted, even though it was not that far apart in price from the ring that we both agreed on. And then when it came to actually getting the ring, picking it up and celebrating, he really wasn't present for that. And so I really learned from that experience that I needed to be aware of the red flags in all my relationships going forward. Now, does it mean that you and your partner are always going to agree on everything and that you're going to have the same exact values? Definitely not. But what it does mean is when you have differences with the other person, do they care about your needs? Do they want to know what you desire? Even if they disagree with, even if it's not a priority for them, but it is for you. How are you together approaching it? Do you feel like there is a sense of care, a sense of desire for your happiness? Because in all relationships, we want mutual care for one another's happiness. To the best of our ability, practical constraints, finances, all of that, we want our partners to be happy. That is love, right? That is real love. And I've quoted this before, but I'm going to quote it again because I love this quote. My teacher, Robert Holden's question, what would love do here? What would love do here? How would love handle this situation? And that always takes us to the place of caring for one another. Now, you may not be in a relationship right now, but how do you care for your own feelings? Because we don't tend to get care from other people about our feelings if we're not actively caring for our own feelings. How do you approach your own needs? Do you discount them? Do you honor them? Do you give them tender, loving care? This is something that I think a lot of us will be working with during this time as well. And again, I want to suggest that you check out my reparenting video, which I will link below if any of this is, resonating for you or ringing any bells. What do you need to feel safe, my friend? This is a big question during Cancer season. What do you need to feel safe? What do you need to feel held? What do you need to feel protected and secure? My mom, Sandy, who passed away in 2020 at the age of 90, had a boyfriend from age 77 to 90. It was her high school sweetheart. They reunited when she was 77, and he used to call her every morning at 9 a.m., every night at 9 p.m. Like clockwork, she would say, I have to get off the phone now. Red is about to call me. And she was a Cancer rising. She needed that. She needed that constancy, that reliability, that structure, that knowing that he was thinking about her on a regular basis and he was going to call her every day at the same time. One of the telltale signs of our needs not being met is our energy being drained. So often in Cancer energy, we give and we give and we give until we're exhausted, until we're drained. And we don't really know it until we feel this sense of burnout. So one thing you can do is just become aware. Does this, whatever it is, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it is exercise routine or specific food that you eat, does this increase my energy or does it drain my energy? Is it energy up or energy down? And if it drains your energy, then it's something you really want to look at, because Cancer is all about nurturing ourselves and being our own inner mother. Cancer energy begins with the summer solstice, the longest day of the year when we have the most light. So what a metaphor is this for Cancer season? It is when we are bringing in more light. We have the Cancer new moon on June 28th. I have a separate video for you on that, so I'm not going to repeat myself, but I do want to say that this new moon in Cancer probably will be more emotional for many of us, especially if you have planets or points around 7 degrees of Cancer or in any of the cardinal signs. It is square Jupiter, so you could easily feel there's some excess of energy, or you could want to do like an excess of partying, or something may feel excessive to you. So that's something we really want to be aware of. It's also conjuncting Black Moon Lilith, and Black Moon Lilith is that inner fierce protector. We want to be really aware during this time of standing our ground, protecting the part of us that is most vulnerable, that is most tender. With Black Moon Lilith, we can experience our darkest fears, our repressed expression. Black Moon Lilith is where we have often previously shut down, where we've been too afraid to express what it is that we want to express. Maybe we've been conflict avoiders. But Black Moon Lilith will have you bringing out your inner warrior in a good way, Like, how would you protect yourself if you were a helpless, 2-year-old child who needed your advocacy? What would you do? How would you make sure that your needs were met? On June 28th, the same day as the Cancer new moon, Neptune goes retrograde. This is where you may have to take off your rose-colored glasses and see things as they really are. Neptune can be such a dreamy energy. It is the ideal, it's the vision that we have, but it doesn't often match reality. And when we really feel this during a Neptune retrograde, we really begin to feel where our reality does not match the way we've been looking at something. So ultimately, this is very good for our own sense of grounding and for our own sense of safety and security, but it doesn't always feel good when it's happening. On June 23rd, Venus went into Gemini. Now, I have Venus in Gemini, so I am partial to this energy, but Venus in Gemini is all about being playful. It's about exploring new things. It's a super social energy. It's where we want to get out and meet new people. It's all about free exploration. Venus in Gemini loves to love, loves to go from flower to flower like the butterfly and sample the nectar. And I'm not saying it's not can't be a monogamous energy at all. Like, I am very much about monogamy myself, but I do love to play. And so this is a time that a lot of us will want to get out and play more, especially because we have Mercury in Gemini as well. We are through the Mercury retrograde. We are through the post-retrograde shadow period. So you may find yourself really busy during this time. This is a time you might be doing traveling, you might be taking short road trips. It's a time when a lot of people just want to get out for a day or for a long weekend and just have fun. Just have to watch for not overthinking, not overanalyzing, because Mercury and Gemini can do that, but it's a good time for research. It's a good time for getting new information. And if you're not sure about a decision, that is a good place to get support and to investigate for more information, because a lot of times that is what we're missing. That's what we're needing. Mercury goes into Cancer on July 6th. July 6th, and Mercury in Cancer will shift our focus back again into family matters. So that's a really good time to have conversations with people that are dear to you, people that matter to you, especially if it's one that you've been putting off. The energy really favors us being more and more in tune with our hearts, with our emotions, all the things I talked about that Cancer season is about. On July 6th, the same day that Mercury goes into Cancer, Mars changes signs. Now, we're really going to feel this when Mars changes signs, especially because Mars, the planet of action, and our masculine self, or masculine energy, our kind of doer energy, it's been in Aries. Mars in Aries is at home. It's a fire sign. It moves quickly. It moves forward. It has no trouble just like burning through tasks. Mars in Aries it's very comfortable there. Now Mars is moving into Taurus, and Taurus is a slower earth energy. It's more about wanting stability and security, and it moves more slowly. Now we can work with this energy, no problem. It's just that we want to adjust our expectations. So with Mars and Taurus, you want to wait to take action till you have that really strong gut feeling, that really strong sense in your body that this is the right action to take. On July 19th, Venus moves into Cancer. So now we're going to have Mercury in Cancer, Venus in Cancer, and the Sun in Cancer. We're going to have 3 planets in Cancer in this loving and nurturing energy. Venus in Cancer is very much of a sweet, loving energy. It's like, what can I get you? What can I make for you? What kind of food do you love? What's your favorite flower? It's all about like creating a beautiful home sanctuary and feeling really good in whatever we're putting into our bodies, whatever we are beautifying with. So this is going to be a really beautiful time, I think, for all of us to, just be aware of our home environment and make sure that it feels really good. Or you might want to plant a garden. On July 13th, we have a Capricorn full moon. This Capricorn full moon is going to be trining Uranus, the planet of change, of sudden disruptions, often of aha moments, light bulb moments. It's a planet of awakening. It wants us to wake up to something that we haven't seen before, but it's going to be a positive energy. So I think it'll be positive flow. I think it'll be less disruption and more opening our minds to approaching things from a different viewpoint, a new perspective. It will, however, be conjunct Pluto, loosely conjunct Pluto, and Pluto does not stand for anything that is toxic in our lives. Pluto wants us to release any dependencies on people, substances, food, just difficult situations or challenges in our lives that are bad for us. So it's going to be a cleansing full moon as well. And of course, I'll do a separate video for you on that, where I'll get much more into the energies. And then finally on July 20th, Mercury is going to go into Leo, and Leo is a very different energy from Cancer. Cancer is where we are pulling in, where we're becoming aware of our needs, where we are tending to our emotions, our self-love, our self-care. And in Leo, we bring it all out into the world. We figure out what it is we most want. We are ready to metaphorically get back on stage. We're ready to be more expressive, to bring that wholeness that we've created within out into the world. And on July 23rd, the sun will move into Leo, and I'll have a separate video for you on Leo season. Let's see what the cards have to say now about Cancer season for all of us. What do the cards have to say? Cancer season. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards. The first card is the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords, new beginnings, new ways of thinking, new perspectives, clearing away any thoughts that are not empowering to us. And card number 2. Card number 2, the Daughter of Cups. Okay, this is our feminine energy, our youthful feminine energy in Cups energy, which is water, just like Cancer is. It's that desire to have a romantic fantasy. And then we'll do card number 3 and pull it all together. Card number 3, the Son of Wands. Interesting. Okay, so we have the Daughter and the Son. The Son of Wands, fire energy, transformational energy. This is our youthful child male self, our youthful child female self, the Daughter of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. So this is a really interesting reading. To me, this is saying we are going to be changing our thinking through the Ace of Swords. We're going to have a brand new beginning in how we approach our thoughts and the way our mind is organizing our reality, the way our mind is telling stories about our reality, stories about our life, stories about what we need, what needs are being met, what needs are not being met. Now, this is really interesting here, that we have a daughter and a son, because if we go back to Cancer energy, this is about being mothered. This is about children, right? And as I said earlier in the video, it's our very first experiences of our needs being met or not being met, and especially our emotional needs. And the Daughter of Cups, this is, the youthful part. Like this would be in another tarot deck, it would be traditional tarot, it would be the Princess and the Prince. The Princess of Cups, she wants everything that she was conditioned to, believe she should have as a child. So it could be like a fantasy. It could be like a Disney movie that so many of us grew up with. But she, is here bathing in the water, and the waterfall is coming down on her. And it's funny, this reminds me that I had an astrology reading once with someone who told me, because I had so much water energy, I have a grand trine in water in my chart, and being the double Cancer, he said, you need to be in water. He said, you have to remember that for you, water is better than any lover. He said that, better than any lover. So every time I get into a bath now, I'm like, better than any lover. I just had to share that with you. I think it's so funny. So here we have the daughter, the female, the feminine part of us, of all of us, whether you're male or female, in this fantasy okay, in this, drenched in her emotions, positive or negative, however she is seeing them, however she is feeling them, but she's feeling them. She's feeling her emotions. And then we have the prince, the son, the male archetype within all of us, the child male archetype, who is the jester. And he is like out on a sunny day, he's playing, he's being playful. It almost reminds me of the like Venus and Mercury and Gemini energy. He's having fun, he's romping around, he's being his true self. I'll let you look at this a little bit closer. He's socializing with other people, even entertaining other people. This feels almost like a Leo energy to me. And this is the Prince of Wands. He just wants to have an experience. He just wants to have an adventure. He just wants to have fun. So we are reconciling. Maybe we are making sure we get a little bit of both of these energies right now. The dreamy, feminine part of us that wants this beautiful, watery, emotional realms, wants to swim in these realms. And then the part of us that wants to be out having an adventure, just playing, just romping. And I feel like what these cards are saying is we are integrating all these parts of ourselves through our thoughts, and through this, you see this yellow kite, this yellow sword. There's a butterfly here. With the Ace of Swords, we have a new beginning in Cancer season, a new beginning to change our story about ourselves and our lives. And we are being supported to integrate our dreamy emotional self and our adventurous, romping child self, to integrate these parts. And first and foremost, most of all, making sure that we meet the needs of all these parts of ourselves, and that we become intimate with what our needs are, and we give them a voice. We let them speak to us. We are there for them. We are open for them. We hear what they need, and we satisfy their needs, just like a good parent would do. So, my beautiful friend, I would love to know if this reading resonated for you in any way, shape, or form, any of the various points that I made. I would love to hear from you. It's so much fun for me. Thank you so much for your likes on the video, for your thumbs up, for your comments, for your shares, so that other people can find out more about the astrology of June and July. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Hit the bell and the notification so you're notified when I upload next. And my free gift that I have for you, almost forgot, I have a free gift for you. It is a guided meditation, so perfect for Cancer season, returning home to yourself, returning home to your heart, reconnecting with your spirit. Guided meditation. Just go to my website. I will link it below. Subscribe for my inspirational updates. I send out weekly updates on the astrology. This is something that I don't post on YouTube, so it's something special for you. And you will get your free download of the guided meditation. And I will see you back here very soon with another video. Sending you all my love.